One of my kids is being an asshole. Actually, both of them are. Both of them are. And I tried to get my ex-wife to help, and you could tell that she doesn't want to help, and that she's part of the problem. Because I'm like, I'm the dad, you're the mom. I'm asking you for help. Now, she disappeared with him for 7 years. We didn't pursue her. We didn't try to run her down because she freaked out after I talked to one of her boyfriends, made a big deal out of it, and it really wasn't a big deal at all. And she quit talking to my dad, so she did it in such a way as to attack my dad for me talking to the boyfriend. And I didn't tell him anything like that. I done left her. This girl got on the stand and lied. I didn't go back to her. I wasn't going back with her. I left her. I left her. And after that, I wasn't going back with her. Of course, I had problems and I have feelings for her. It was very hard to do. I didn't leave my kids though. I didn't. She's fucked that whole relationship up. Now, my kid, the son, he tried to be like, don't you feel bad for what you did? I was like, what did I do? And he couldn't tell me. He couldn't tell me. Now, see, I've already seen him twice since that event. That event happened in 2011, before 2012. And he was actually at my mom's house. And I went to my mom's house after getting into this altercation with my ex and her dad, really her dad, who hit me and I hit him and knocked his ass through the fucking window. He went, but he attacked me and I got out of there. I left. But the Baytown cops went out of their jurisdiction, came into my mom's house, tasered me on the floor, arrested me, and wrote it up like they arrested me there. So when she got on the stand, she went with their story and told all this shit. So she just lied. So he's trying to refer back to this time when all this stuff happened. Meanwhile, his mom's lied on the stand. I've talked to him for like 2 years now, texting, but then he just does like her. He just stops responding back, doesn't say why he's mad or whatever. But that's what it is, because they've got in their head this whole other version of the story that didn't even happen. They're not there. My older son, he's older, but I went through a lot of shit with his mom. So he can be mad at me, but he could heal it if we were able to communicate. We've not been able to communicate. And with this son, I've been trying to communicate, and he's very sketchy. I only talked to him one time. I don't call the number. And the only reason why I even reached out to his mom is because I didn't want to call his number and violate that. I just texted him. But he's got all this shit that he thinks, and it's from his mom. And she's like, you just keep blaming everybody. You need to take responsibility. I did take responsibility. I did time. I won my case. She didn't win. She lost. And everything that she said is a lie. So now I have this teenage boy that I'm trying to keep the relationship with, that I can't even talk to him. I just texted him. I was like, fine. If you want to be like that, I won't text you no more. If that's how you want to be, I won't text you no more. You don't want to have a dad? Fine, don't have a dad. Have that fucking guy, whoever the fuck your mom's with. That's one of the things you're not supposed to do either with kids. If you don't have the other parent's rights taken away, you can't just move in and have another dad without there being some sort of, she's violated every bit of the way you're supposed to co-parent while having primary custody. I was never going to take the kids away from her because her mom was murdered by her dad and all this shit. She is extremely violent. She'll fight with you and get you in a corner and still be attacking you. You try to leave. There's nothing you can do. She'll fight. She wants to fight. She's one of those girls. She's one of the ones that she'll hit you and then act like she didn't do anything. And she's a fucking psycho. She's always been psycho. She's never been loyal. Always cheating. Always doing whatever she wanted. And then, just the behavior and the way that she's acting through this thing when I just tried to seek her for help, because I wouldn't, even if knowing she's a piece of shit and not trying to be helpful at all. She could act like she is, but she's not. She's not. She wants to be, she's a fucking narcissist. And it's all about her. It's all about her. She doesn't care. It doesn't make a shit if there's a relationship with the dad, because it threatens her. And that's the type of shit I'm dealing with. And I can't get around it. And I don't even want to put her out there like that. But I've approached it from every fucking angle that I can. And my life is completely fucked up because of her. But I'm not using that as an excuse. It's just, that's just the way it is. I married somebody. I got what I fucking paid for. She fucked me up in all kinds of ways. Fucked me up with my child support. Made it to where I'm not even going to be able to have any money until after my kids are all 18. That doesn't mean I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to have nothing to do with them. But she's not going to help in that process at all. She wasn't going to put them on the phone. She played all the relationships against each other. Did that with my dad. So my dad didn't get to see him or do nothing with him. Because... And it's just shitty because I don't think it's right, but I'm not going to keep fucking holding out and trying to, and I don't even know what they look like. I have no idea what they look like. He wouldn't send a picture. That's one of the things, like, if he was so good-hearted like she says, I'm like, if they're so good-hearted like you say, I'm like, then why do they go out of their way to be so hateful to me? What is the point in that? And why be mad at me when I'm the one who waited for all this time, not knowing if you were alive or dead? I'm the one that should be mad. They knew what was going on. They had a phone number, but they didn't want to call. They probably would have if she would have been a parent, but she doesn't want to be a parent. She wants to be like the friend to the kids. I'll be their friend. I'll be the cool mom. So she's wrecked these relationships, or at least reinforced a current state where there's no way to fucking repair it. There's no way, And I don't believe that fights and bullshit that you have in the past with a lover, I don't think that should trump relationship you have with your kids. But she's such a control freak that she's not even going to let them talk to me because she's afraid that they'll end up I don't know I don't know. But it can't go like this. It can't go like this. And it's shitty because it shouldn't be that way. I haven't got to live a life or go to any type of normalcy because she's not affected by it like it is for me. She can act like it's all hard for her. No, all she's got to do is shack up with a guy and she has most of her needs met. Period. One of the kids is already all the way grown up. Am I an asshole? I'm an asshole to her. But not really. I just told her the way it is, and she's like, well, you're blaming everyone. And I'm not blaming anyone. I'm telling her my perspective. I'm like, look, For 7 years, we didn't know where you were. And she took this out on my dad because she would only talk to him. I didn't have a number for her. I talked to her mom, which is actually her aunt who raised her. And for that whole period of time, tried to get her to send messages between us because she knew that they were around, but there was no ability to just bypass that and do it myself. We've had CPS. I've called CPS on her because I thought I needed to and I thought it would be helpful. It's not helpful at all. Not a good idea. So I didn't have any of those resources at all to assist. And I thought, of all the things that she had said, for whatever reason, I believed that I could trust her. And at the end, no, I couldn't. I can't even now because she's not even concerned. I'm like, well, I'm asking you for help. And, oh, they're smart and they know how to make their own decisions. What are they basing them on? They're only basing them on whatever she said and how she's acted. And she doesn't even know. She didn't even know when I asked her. I was like, do you know you got on the stand and lied? I was like, because they did not arrest me at that place. That was all fabricated, and everything that you got up there and said was fabricated. She didn't remember any of it. So that's the type of shit I'm dealing with. She doesn't give a fuck, and now I just have to wait for old age or something. But I have to write them off. Because it hurts me so much to be in that state and to be passively aggressed by my own son by just not answering. He's not answered nothing since November, and there's not even a reason for it. There's no reason that he's ever said. It was like I was talking to him, and he could be mad, but he doesn't have any reason. If I showed you the pictures of me and him the last time I saw him as a little boy, we spent all our time together. So after that, I got 7 years of dead space that she broke the communication, and now she's poisoned him because he who had a good heart doesn't even want to communicate and doesn't even know how to do it because he's not an adult. He's still a fucking child. Although he's a teenager, an older teenager, he's breaking the communication that is just even at a minimal just to keep it healthy and fresh and alive so that if he ever wants to come and visit or do something that we could have that time. But now I can't even have that because I'm not going to be treated like that. And I told her, I was like, if he's trying to not answer and I'm supposed to take the point, I'm his dad. I'm not going to just take a clue. He's treating me like some, passive aggressive, just like a woman would do. Just going to not answer or say nothing, not tell me why. So I'm going to fucking just not text him anymore. And I don't know what to do about it. It's just sad. But I mean, I'm not saying I did everything right at all. But I mean, having that gap of communication and not knowing where they're at, not having a number to call, and then getting his number when I saw her at the death of my dad, and I texted him for like 2 years. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. So that he knew that I was thinking about him. So now that he knows that, I guess I can leave it at that because if he doesn't want to talk and he wants to go through that aggressive, being that way about it, I don't know what else to do. So this is just a thought. If anyone has any fucking baby mama problems, that's mine.